Welcome back to Gaming with Crushworth and Episode 3 in my Lord of the Rings retrospective series. Like Sam to Frodo, I made a promise. I will complete as many of the LOTR console games as I possibly can. In this episode, I take on and beat The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring on PlayStation 2. It all began with the forging of the game. 3 versions were given to developers: Immortal, Wisest, and Fairest of all beings. One to WXP Games for Xbox, another to Pocket Studios for Game Boy Advance, and one to Surreal Software for PlayStation 2, who above all else made theirs the hardest. For within these games was bound the strength and the will to govern over each console. But they were all of them deceived, for another was made. That same year, 2002, Electronic Arts' The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers overshadowed and outperformed Fellowship. Vivendi Universal Games, the publisher behind Fellowship of the Ring, had the rights to adapt J.R.R. Tolkien's novels, while EA had the more lucrative rights to the second and third film. If you're enjoying what you're seeing from me and my channel, please don't forget to like this video. It helps me greatly in the YouTube algorithm. Comment below and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell to get all notifications. I'm on my own quest to get to 500 subscribers, and with your help, I can get there. Plot-wise, it all kicks off slower than it took enjoying second breakfast. Once again, an important heads up, I'm talking about the entire game, so here's your spoiler warning. Gandalf's in Bag End, and no dead-eyed Frodo, there's no fireworks, there's more exposition about rings of power and the One Ring.
The Dark Lord Sauron created this ring to rule all the others.
Plus, I only saw Sam when I was editing this video. You know it, you've seen it. Sam is lifted into the room, but I must have forgotten the part where his pupils disappear, leaving only the whites of his eyes as he joins the party. All good adventure games start with real estate deals, right? Now, I know, don't get too excited. You get to play as Frodo and you get to sell Bag End to Lobelia Sackville Baggins. My name's Frodo Baggins, and I look cursed. This is far closer to the most drawn-out long goodbye in Middle-earth history, spanning over a decade, depicted in Tolkien's book. The first fetch quest? Find the deed to Bag End. Only problem is, Frodo's home is hilariously oversized. In fact, it's cavernous instead of, well, a hole in the ground in which lived a hobbit. Cozy and intimate this space isn't. I don't understand why a hobbit's house is so big for a hobbit who is so small. Hobbiton is quite well realized, with pretty much every denizen's residence recognized by name. All joking aside, there's a lot of things to fault in this game, but the music is not one of them. Brad Spear, wow, this is a marvel. Your OST is beautiful. Thank you. Hal, strongest person in Middle-earth. But what am I doing? I have a real estate deal with Lobelia Sackville Baggins in Bywater to get to. Everyone, meet the strangest hobbit this side of the Brandywine Bridge, Angelica.
It's so far to travel. I hope you can return to Hobbiton one day.
A familiar ditty to liven up a depressing green dragon. You can drink your fancy ales, you can drink 'em by the flagon, but the only brew for the brave and true comes from the green dragon. More disrespect of Bilbo.
Everyone knows you're a respectable hobbit, unlike your Uncle Bilbo, bless him.
And a meet-up with Merry and Pippin later, I'm off to meet Lobelia. My friends, you've never looked worse. An already slogging start made slower, I'm playing Middle Hobbit in her argument with the sheriff, who isn't taking the threat of wolves encroaching the Shire seriously. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, I've rung the warning bell for Lobelia, check. Annoyed the authorities, check. And handed over the Bag End deed, check. Now to get the ring and give the key to Hamfast Gamgee. You see, there's an issue. None of this is fun. Anything that is enjoyable or iconic about the book or film comes much later, and as I would find out, many players didn't get there. Even worse, one of the most broken, exasperating, jankiest, and yes, anger-inducing segments I've ever played in a video game was drawing closer. It wants to be found. My amusement at being only steps away from a ring wraith was quickly dashed in that I was thrust into a stealth section, but one of no discernible rules to follow. Here the developers created what can only be described as an immediate fail-state orbit around the riders. If you're in it, behind trees, houses, hills, and dale, death is immediate. It triggers this scene. In researching this part of the game, many players stated on forums, recent and going back years, their inability to get past this part. Many people just stopped. Allegedly, in the other versions, the Nazgul moves slowly, yet still ominously through Hobbiton, but someone at Surreal Software said, nah, let's have them gallop around instead. Throwing rocks diverted the rider's attention, but I had to know the exact location to hide when I moved, or else another rider found me. Time after time I failed and I became more and more frustrated, especially that attempt where I slightly moved and the Nazgul said, no, 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 surrender the ring. Oh my god. But I've got some old school methods up my sleeve too. Can I save scum? Yes, I can. This is awful. What am I supposed to do? God damn, I can't even get Frodo out of the Shire. Run! Run! Oh, no, 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 no. I will get Frodo Baggins to Rivendell. Run, 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 run. Run, you dumb bastard, run. Alright, let's get a move on. I saved the sheriff, ran away from wolves. I don't remember this in the book. And met up with these two jokers, Merry and Pippin, who had no idea the trauma I went through. Even quicker now, separated in the old forest, Frodo, armed with a stick, goes beast mode against spiders. Reunited once more, I face down the first boss, Old Man Willow.
We must get clear of this place.
Oh my god. What a bunch of nincompoops. This game's bosses I'd soon learn were largely the same. No clue how many hits it took or if I was doing anything right. Watch me get absolutely bounced by a tree. The solution? Hit the trunk once, trigger the cutscene as shown, then block, hit, until Tom Bombadil ends the fight.
What's the matter then?
This is the first of 3 songs Bombadil sings.
You should not be waking, eat earth, drink water, go to sleep. Bombadil is talking.
If anyone is wondering, Tom Bombadil is one of the most incredible yet mysterious characters in Tolkien canon.
Farewell, friends. It was a merry meeting.
Into the Barrow Downs I went, and yup, not long after, separated again. If you're a Tolkienite like me, you'll recognize these as the burial grounds of the forefathers of the Dunedain of Arnor. Oh god. Evil spirits took over, yada yada yada, and now it's creepy. As I'm battling the undead, now is a good time to describe the combat. You're looking at it. Stick smash, as muddy as the visuals are, you can't fault the Barrow Downs level. It's very atmospheric, what with the fog, the oppressive music, the crows, the bones, the undead, it's unsettling. Oh god. Oh, what? I can roll? Oh, game changer. Oh, that was a lot. Even more upsetting is my battle with the old Barrow Wife, the game's second boss.
Wait, perhaps Tom is near. Oh, Tom Bombadil, oh, by water, wood and hill, by the reed and the willow, by fire, sun and moon, hearken now and hear us. Come, Tom Bombadil,
for our need is near us. One bombastic Bombadil banger later, I summoned the most powerful being in existence from the Valley of Uncanny and Withywindle into this dank tomb to defeat the undead.
Get out, old white, vanish in the sunlight, shrivel like the cold mist till the world is mended. Out into the barren lands far beyond the mountains, come never here again. Leave your barrow empty, lost and forgotten be, darker than the darkness, where gates stand forever shut till the world is mended.
Stay the night at the Prancing Pony Inn.
Fair advice. Lead the way.
Ready to follow Tom, then?
In Bree, I'm faced with disrespect.
I don't like you hobbits much. Go away.
Talk to a friendly dwarf from the Kingdom of Erebor. Meet Nob.
Here, sir. Here I am.
Don't get to see Bob and are introduced to Strider. Frodo distracts from Pippin.
I'd stop your friend from talking if I were you.
A song. There is an inn, a merry old inn, beneath an old grey hill. And there they make a stew so brown that the man in the moon himself flew down at night to eat his fill.
Where did he go? Sorcery!
Bah.
Aragorn immediately introduces himself as the heir to Isildur.
I am Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and if by life or death I can save you, I will.
Merry disappears,
Stay here. I'll find him.
and I'm playing as Aragorn. I could do a standing kick, shoot arrows at blistering speeds, or swing my sword. This is actually where the game started to come alive after the slow start. Now I have to say I don't remember when a low-level goon took out Aragorn, son of Arathorn in the book. I must have missed that part. I got used to taking down evil men and then finding logs, rags, melons, and hay. Aragorn needs everything he can get his hands on to build the hobbit decoys, and takes down the goon who disrespected Frodo.
Bold words for a filthy orc son of Mordor.
One scene later in which the Nazgul kind of jankily stab and then shriek. The party is on its way.
We leave at dawn,
Where will we go?
toward Rivendell.
This, everyone, is Weathertop, and look, Gandalf's causing a ruckus in the distance. On our way to the summit, Aragorn fights orcs and survives a jump scare.
Oh, Elbereth, Gilthoniel.
The part where I had to protect Frodo, or didn't in my case, he was stabbed multiple more times, was terrifying. Stop stabbing Frodo. Glorfindel appears and sends Frodo away on his steed Asphaloth towards Rivendell.
Fly! The enemy is upon us! Fly to the ford! Ride on! Norolim! Norolim, Asphaloth!
For the first time, I enjoyed seeing Frodo, not Arwen, defy the Black Riders. Very, very cool.
By Elbereth and Luthien, you shall have neither the ring nor me!
Sploosh. In Rivendell, Gandalf reappears.
We needed you, Gandalf.
I was held captive by the treachery of Saruman the White, the chief of the wizards.
The moment we've, maybe just I've been waiting for, the Council of Elrond.
I will take the ring, though I do not know the way.
I think this task has been appointed for you, Frodo. If you do not find the way, no one will.
Meet Gimli with some serious guns, Legolas and Boromir. I'll get to you in a bit, Boromir.
This mission is so great, and you are so small.
The party's been formed, Bilbo gives a sting, and the 9 set off to destroy the One Ring.
The Fellowship of the Ring shall set forth to Mordor.
And now the last character with whom I got to play, it's Gandalf. He's easily the most fun, as he can heal, shoot fire nonchalantly, use Glamdring the Foe Hammer, and cast lightning! Oh, boom. Let's speed this up again. Aragorn takes down the Watcher in the water. Gandalf and Gimli are a complete unit in the Mines of Moria. Me and Gimli are good friends. I got a glimpse of Gollum, and I fought a butt ton. The Mines of Moria? Yeah, they include more mechanics than any other part in the Fellowship of the Ring. Blocks need to be pushed off ledges, blocks must be pushed onto switches, an all-time video game classic, and low fidelity switches need to be pulled.
We cannot get out. The end comes. Drums. Drums in the deep. They are coming.
I was quite disappointed when, after some truly fun gameplay with Gandalf, I was back playing as Frodo, poking at orcs with Sting and being Sparta-kicked off into the depths. But the music, oh my god, the music was incredible. I had to, get down. The one part in this entire game that I was truly looking forward to was the fight against the Balrog.
Durin's bane has come!
However, it, looked like this, which was absolutely hilarious, but the fight was weird.
This is a foe beyond any of you. I must face the Balrog alone.
The Balrog looks so stupid.
Wielder of the Flame of Anor, you cannot pass!
You've seen my first attempt, which went terribly, and my second wasn't much better. Once I got the rhythm of the fight and didn't allow him to fireball me off the bridge, it was easier. The most difficult part was controlling the camera and running back to the middle and casting another lightning spell to avoid his attack while not running Gandalf off the bridge. Okay, come on Gandalf, come on.
You cannot pass!
Gandalf, no!
After a classic cutscene which lacked any feeling whatsoever, I had to laugh. This was one of the emotional cruxes of the Fellowship of the Ring. Hi Gandalf, I guess we'll see you in EA's The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Haldir steps in Lothlorien.
You breathe so loud I could shoot you in the dark.
Huh?
Have no fear.
Oh my
The Lady
god!
Galadriel is expecting you.
The party meets up with Galadriel.
Your quest stands upon the edge of a knife. Stray even a little, and it will fail, to the ruin of all. Yet, hope remains while all the Fellowship is true.
And the elves care more for Gandalf than the party does.
I wonder if I shall see any elf magic while we're here. Did you try these elven delicacies?
One cheeky look-see into Galadriel's mirror later, and the action continues with the developers committing a crime against Tolkien.
There is still hope that Gondor will not fall.
There is no hope while the ring exists.
Yes, the ring. We can use its power for good.
All that is done with the ring turns to evil. All can be corrupted. Some faster than others.
Boromir does not try to take the ring. What are we even doing here?
Think of my counsel, Frodo. It is all I ask of you.
Okay, permit me to go on a bit of a rant here. Boromir succumbing to the will of the ring is part of the undoing of the Fellowship, and leads Frodo to set out on his own before Sam joins. Without it, there is no reason for the Fellowship to break. Even worse, Boromir doesn't even die in the game. It's completely reckless. So I hate to use language like this, but the dumbest part of the entire game is when the party is on the River Anduin in their elvish boats, and Nazgul swoops down and carries Sam away, setting up the climax.
Frodo, I'll hold off the orcs. Climb to the top. I'll follow when I can.
Hilariously, whether it's a wolf or a Uruk-hai, the enemies are developed to be slower than the player characters, so no matter how many were on my tail, I just kept running. Run! 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 We're here, the end boss. Stun locking the ring wraith into submission was something else. Actually, it was quite anticlimactic and silly. What is this battle?
indeed weakens.
The finale had me aiming wildly in first-person mode into near pitch dark, trying to shoot an even darker Nazgul. Strike it a few times, and Legolas, in a cutscene, drops the fell beast. What a ridiculously stupid end to the Fellowship of the Ring. Then, according to this game at least, there was no tragedy. The Fellowship triumphed greatly, brought Frodo right to the doors of Mordor, and tried to set up their sequel. As I've come to the end of the game, my opinion on The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring on PS2 is mixed. This is probably the only largely canon retelling of Tolkien's first novel. However, wild, outlandish, and janky the experience was. I can't really recommend this one to anyone who isn't a massive fan. And even then, you've been warned. There's some parts that make the cardinal sin in gaming. They just ain't fun. Thank you for watching my Lord of the Rings retrospective series, which will return when I try to, and the keyword is try to, complete The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring on Super Nintendo. You know me, I'm always cooking up content right here in Crushworth headquarters. But until next time, you'll see me soon. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe, and crush that bell to catch all my videos. And get this, reviewing games is new to me, YouTube isn't. Gaming with Crushworth joins traveling with Crushworth in the Crushworth Extended Universe. What games are you playing? Let me know in the comments below. See you later.